January 2025 is truly the month of introspection and innovation. We have so much beautiful water trine energy happening between the sign of Cancer as well as the sign of Pisces. And then we have so much Aquarian energy aspecting this Pluto in Aquarius, which means we are ready to reinvent ourselves in a whole new way and allowing our light to shine. So let's go ahead and get started with the astrology for the month of January. Greetings, YouTube family. Welcome back to my channel, Hidden Alchemy. Whether it's your first time or if you are returning, welcome back. My name is Sade. I am a holistic and wellness coach focusing on spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional well-being techniques to really help people alchemize, transform their life, and especially understand astrology and use astrology to your best of advantage to transform your life. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into the work of January. January is definitely going to be a really beautiful month for the Pisces and Cancer energies of your chart, as well as the Aquarius energies of your chart. So, lots of introspection, lots of feelings, but also not feelings in a space of just sulking in your feelings, but feeling like things are moving, things are changing for you on an emotional level. And now you can take all that deeper emotional understanding and start to put that into practice to reinvent the Aquarius area of your chart. So, starting out the month, we have Venus moving into the sign of Pisces on January 2nd. And this is a beautiful transit because Venus loves to be in the sign of Pisces. Venus is exalted in the sign of Pisces. So, this is a really good time to indulge in the Piscean area of your chart, but of course, in true Venus fashion with balance. So, indulging in things that bring you healing, that bring you comfort, that bring you pleasure. And a lot of that is probably going to have to do with the arts because Venus is an artistic planet and Pisces is a very artistic sign. So, getting back into the modes of artistic expression that helps you to heal yourself, really bring it back to the self, especially when we're working with Pisces energy. And then also use that healing of your artistic expression as an inspiration for other people. So maybe showing up a little bit differently in your relationships, in the way that you nurture yourself, in the way that you nurture your relationships, because Venus is a relational planet and Pisces is a pretty relational sign. However, because Pisces can also rule escapism and Venus can sometimes get a little gluttonous, be mindful that you are balancing Venus in Pisces of relaxation and pleasure and peace and escapism, but also balancing it with more practicality of being on the earth plane, being in the earth world, right? And tending to your duties and responsibilities, as well as allowing pleasure and peace and healing to be a part of your duties and responsibilities as well. On January 6th, we have Mars moving into the sign of Cancer. So we've been working with this energy for some time. If you want more of the Mars and Cancer transit, I have a video of that on my channel. So check that out because I won't dive too deep into this one because we've been working with this for some time. But Mars is still retrograde. So Mars stationing back into Cancer retrograde, bring yourself back to October. What were some themes that you were going through in the month of October? Because Mars now back in Cancer, but retrograde is asking you to really think about it on an emotional level. Think about where you need to water your roots a little bit more, where you need to ground your roots a little bit more and take care of your emotional body. Cancer is all about nourishment, about nurturing, and about intimacy. So, where is that intimacy that you're having with yourself, or where will you be relying on others to have that emotional stability for you that you kind of need to nurture and ground within yourself? On January 8th, we have Mercury moving into Capricorn. So I love this transit because we got Venus in Pisces, we got Mars moving back into Cancer. And so Mercury is like, okay, somebody needs to be in the earth plane to help out with all this water. So with Mars and Venus coming together to make a trine, because they're both water energies and water signs, Mercury being in the sign of Capricorn is like, okay, we can take all of these ideas and all of these things that we're feeling. And, sometimes when you're working with water, sometimes you can get a little bit stuck in the emotional body of things, which is fine. But Mercury in Capricorn is going to bring the mind back to a more practical state of, well, how can we put these ideas into tangible action so that we can feel more grounded in our life? Because sometimes when you are working with the water energy, it can feel like things are just very messy and all over the place, and you're feeling this one day and you're feeling something different the next. But Capricorn energy is like, okay, let's start to have a little bit more control and boundaries around these emotions that we're feeling that are very positive and needed for our growth. And let's start putting things into practical action and practical use. And I think that once Mercury enters Capricorn, it will really help to just make the Mars and the Venus energy come together in a better way. So it doesn't just feel like it's ideas and emotions that we're feeling, but now we can see it materialize into our physical world. Right after that, we have the North Node moving into Pisces on January 11th. So, whatever you've been working on with Saturn and Pisces, the North Node is finally here for you to lead in that area. And I'm so happy that Saturn had its time in Pisces before the North Node entered Pisces, because it's really been maturing us in that Pisces area of our chart as a collective. So, again, this Pisces area of your chart, you've been working with this for quite some time and you're on your way out, or we're on our way out, right? Because Saturn is going to move into Aries later on in the year. So with the North Node entering now into Pisces, we got Venus in Pisces, we got Saturn in Pisces. It's really a time to tend to the forgiveness and compassion that you have been developing over this year, and giving that more to yourself and leading in this Pisces area of your chart. If there's something that you've been feeling called to from August, September, October time of last year of 2024, depending when you're watching this video, the North Node is going to make that sensation louder. So think back to September when we had the full moon in Pisces, where we really experienced this transit. What was a theme for you? Because that will be a theme for the next 18 months when the North Node moves into Pisces, which is a really exciting time. I'm going to have a separate video on that, diving deeper into what we can expect with the North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo. Coming up next on January 13th, we have the full moon in Cancer. So, do you understand what I mean when I say there's so much water energy? We need that Mercury in Capricorn. A full moon in Cancer opposing the sun in Capricorn, Mercury in Capricorn, and then Mars is going to be in Cancer, right? So it's really a time of deep introspection. I don't think I can say that anymore. Deep introspection on where your roots need to be more nourished, where they need to be more nurtured, and where there needs to be a little bit more softness for yourself, softness for how far you've come and where you're heading, and the new leader that you are becoming in your life, because Mars retrograde is asking us to clean up this Cancer area of our chart so that we can be this new leader when Mars goes back into the sign of Leo. And because this full moon is going to be opposing the sun in Capricorn, it is asking us to have a little bit of balance between our day-to-day work that we have to do for others and really making sure that we are taking the time that we need for rest and restoration. I feel this full moon energy and all of this energy in Pisces and Cancer is really a call to the feminine energy and a call to reclaiming the feminine energy. And I'm going to make a full moon video diving deeper into this topic as well. And then following that, so that's all we have for the water energy. June, from the start of June to June, just from the start of January to January 13th, that's all water that we're working with. As we move to the 19th, we have the sun moving into Aquarius, the 27th, Mercury moving into Aquarius, the 29th, a new moon in Aquarius, and then January 30th, Uranus moving direct in Taurus. So that's all Aquarian energy. And let's just talk about that, okay? Because we have been working with Pluto in Aquarius for quite some time, and now it's officially stationed in Aquarius. So the sun moving into Aquarius is going to highlight what has been shaking and shifting for you. Where have you been itching to reinvent yourself and showcase yourself in a new way, in a new eclectic way that is original authentic and unique for you. Whenever we're working with Aquarius energy, we are really focusing on authenticity. And authenticity that might not be understood by others, but it is something that is known so deeply in your heart and in your mind, because Aquarius is the intellect. Air signs rule the intellect. So a knowing that you have about yourself, a knowing that you have about the direction you want to go into, and others might not understand, right? Aquarius is very out of the box energy. Others might not understand, but it is something that you know about yourself. And with Pluto here, Pluto is going to force you. Pluto is like drag or get dragged or go willingly. Go willingly or get dragged against your will. So with Pluto here and the sun here, it is shedding light on this is where you need to focus on the reinvention. Now, what I love about Mercury moving into Aquarius on the 27th is now you get to put things into practical action, all these ideas that are coming to you, because Aquarius is a Saturn rule sign as well. So it does have a level of practicality, even though it's an air sign. But with Mercury moving here, it's like, okay, now with the sun, Pluto, Mercury, are ideas now. Now we can really get these genius level ideas, and we can really think about how can we start to bring these ideas out into the world, materialize these ideas out into the world. And then to top everything off, we have a new moon in Aquarius on the 29th, which is really connecting the deep subconscious need for innovation, conjunct with the sun, a conscious need for innovation, and Mercury bringing you the ideas that you have been calling out and asking for, and Pluto giving you like the power to transform yourself. Remember, Pluto is a slow moving planet. So don't expect to just be a brand new person after all these transits. Or if you are a person who has a lot of Aquarius energy in your chart, expect to be a brand new person after these transits, because you are going to be buzzing with Aquarian energy, buzzing to reinvent and to get out the box and to showcase yourself in a different way and to feel worthy of being seen in that new way. Aquarius is the opposite sign of Leo, right? And Leos are really getting hit too with this Pluto in Aquarius transit. It's opposing Leo. So Leo is about stepping out there and being seen. Allow yourself to be seen. And sometimes Aquarius can get comfortable behind the scenes, being the genius behind the scene. But with the sun here, it's like, no, babe, step out there. Let people see your new invention. Let people hear your new idea. You never know where it's going to take you. And if you have not seen my video on the astrology for 2025, we have Uranus moving into the sign of Gemini, which is going to make a beautiful sign trine, a sign trine, right? So Gemini and Aquarius are both air signs, which trine each other. So these ideas that you have, there is beautiful opportunity to bring things into the physical. We just got to get practical, and we just got to place things in order and take the steps that we need. Now, to close out the month, we have Uranus finally stationing direct in the sign of Taurus. Now, Uranus is the planet that rules Aquarius. So if it's not a month of introspection and innovation, I don't know what is. But Uranus has been in the sign of Taurus for quite some time. It will be moving into the sign of Gemini later in the year, before going back into Taurus and moving back into Gemini. But regardless of such, Uranus rules Aquarius. So we have been reinventing this Taurus area of our chart for quite some time. And Taurus and Aquarius square each other. So with this Aquarian stellium that we have happening towards the end of the month, and then Uranus stationing direct, there is a deep need. Whenever you have a square, you have to change something. And depending on where you have Taurus in your chart, depending on where you have Aquarius, those two houses are going to square, and you are going to have to come up with a brand new way of doing something to ease the tension between those two houses. So I'm very excited for the month of January. I think the year is really kicking off to a big start, but keep in mind that Mars is still retrograde. So a lot of these changes you're going to feel on an internal level, and you won't really see a lot of that action and movement taking shape until when Mars stations direct. Nonetheless, it doesn't mean that the innovation is not already happening, because it's happening in the mind and it's happening in the heart. And once it happens there, it just is a matter of time before it starts to transmute into our physical world. So Have an amazing January, everyone. If you are interested to see where and how these planets are going to affect you, and most importantly, how you can take advantage of these planets in your chart, head over to my website, hiddenalchemybysade.com. I have my information down below where you can go ahead and click, send me an email. We can schedule a consultation and we can start that alchemist journey for yourself. All right, everyone, have a good January, and I will see you for our February astrology.